I seriously cannot believe I am making a video on this. I'm literally a Cleveland Cavaliers fan myself, and it is so bizarre to me how crashing down our season was, and it is just an absolutely crazy thing to the point where there were people in the media bashing up our players, especially Colin Sexton. He was really getting it the worst, and I mean, there was a lot of the rumors that some players were saying that Colin Sexton was actually being a hog and that he wasn't passing the ball, etc. And now, according to Cleveland.com, which is probably, one of the most trusted sources out there, that some NBA executives actually believe that the Cleveland Cavaliers will be trading Colin Sexton this offseason. There has also been a lot of talk that some teams have actually offered up already packages to try and get Colin Sexton to the team. Some teams have already inquired about Colin Sexton does look like, and there have been rumors that a couple of these teams could include like the Lakers, Knicks, the Heat, all the real big name teams that are all contending right now, which is absolutely crazy to me. Now, first of all, I have been very public on this channel on how I think that some of the players talking about Colin Sexton hogging the ball is actually the truth. Now, some people were saying that, of course, he doesn't pass the ball, there's no one to pass to and whatnot. Then how come Darius Garland manages to average more than 6 assists per game? Alright, there is a way to pass the ball, and Darius Garland does it really well, and that's why Darius Garland will be the future of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, I do agree, sometimes it is hard for Colin Sexton to pass it, considering our best three-point shooter is probably Cedi Osman or Larry Nance. But there are some times where he will have a blatantly open player on the three-point line, and he will choose to take an open, or not an open layup, rather, a very, very contested layup around two defenders, and he'll either get swatted, I believe he was the highest blocked player in the league, or it will just completely miss, and he'll be on the ground, and he'll be on 4-on-5, and they'll score easily from a fast break. Now, that is a criticism I do have on Colin Sexton. But the thing I also do have on Colin Sexton I'd like to say is Sexton is one of the most perfect players out there for Cleveland. Now, I'm not saying that in terms of he fits the team well, because I actually don't think he fits the team well. I don't think the duo Sexton can actually really work long term. I think Sexton would probably need to come off the bench, and you need to get more of a two-way shooting guard in. But Sexton is one of the only guys in the whole world that hasn't given up on Cleveland. When Sexton got to the team, he fully embraced being at Cleveland and starting a new rebuild, following the departure of LeBron James and following the departure of Kyrie Irving. He fully kind of gotten into that spirit of, I'm in Cleveland right now, I'm going to accept it. A lot of players wouldn't have accepted it, especially some young players. There are young players out there that probably would have given up and wouldn't have made anything of themselves in Cleveland. Sexton's done everything he can. For example, this season he is averaging 24 points per game and has really showed a very high spirit that makes a lot of Cleveland fans absolutely love him. And that's why he's so loved by the Cleveland fans, because he is one of the only people in the whole world that hasn't given up on us. And again, even though I don't think he fits that well with the Cavaliers, and I do think that sometimes he can be selfish and a hog, I think you need guys like Colin Sexton at Cleveland, because they're there for the long term. They're not going to give up on you. They're going to try their absolute hardest to get you to the playoffs. And again, that's another issue I have with Larry Nance, is I actually do think the Cavs should probably trade Larry Nance, especially if they can get a first or two out of him, which he's probably the only player on the whole roster you could get a first out of that's available for trade. But the thing is, Colin Sexton is another dude like Colin Sexton, Larry Nance is another dude like Colin Sexton, rather, who has embraced Cleveland and wants to take Cleveland to the playoffs and will do everything they can to try and get there. So I don't think the Cavs should be trading Colin Sexton. I think it'd be absolutely stupid. Not just that, if you actually did go and get a two-way shooting guard, whether that's in the draft or in free agency, and did move Sexton to the bench, I could see Sexton being, averaging 20 points per game and easily winning the 6th Man of the Year award, and he would have an actual excuse not to pass the ball. And I think, though, another thing that could also be put on there is that He could be a similar player to Dennis Schroeder's OKC days. He could be a similar player to Jordan Clarkson in Utah, where you probably don't have to pass the ball up much, but you can just be a dominant scorer. And it's been proven those players can work. I think Colin Sexton should be one of those guys that can be a dominant scorer, but he should still obviously pass the ball. But again, he might have some more leeway to do that if he's not starting. So again, I do believe Colin Sexton will be on the Cleveland Cavaliers next year. He will not be getting traded. But let's just say in a theoretical world, he was to potentially get traded. Who should he go to? Now, if I was the Milwaukee Bucks, I would be offering up so much to get Colin Sexton on the team. The reason why, if I was the Bucks, I'd be offering so much to get him on the team is you look at the starting five with Giannis, Middleton, Holiday, DiVincenzo, and Lopez. That's a really, really good starting five. That's one of the best in the league. The issue is their bench. Their bench is kind of nice. You got Bobby Portis. You got, Bryn Forbes. He's kind of there. Cunnington's kind of there. Tucker's kind of there. But you've got no, heavy scorer. You don't have that Jordan Clarkson, Dennis Schroeder type of guy. And I think that you look at some of the best teams in the league right now, and they all have that guy. Again, the Miami Heat, when Goran Dragic comes off the bench, they've got Dragic. He's there. The Knicks, they got Quickly, and he's a young guy, and he's doing it well. The Philadelphia 76ers, even Shake Milton, he's doing that role. It is, a lot of the best teams do have that type of player, but the Bucks don't. So if you were the Bucks, I would be offering up multiple first rounds and players to get Colin Sexton to the team, because I believe he could be six-man and average 25 minutes to 30 minutes per game as your backup point guard and shooting guard and get you very, very heavy minutes. And I think he can definitely play with players like Giannis, because Sexton is still a decent catch and shoot player. He is just, though he is mainly a scorer. So if I was the Bucks, yeah, I'd be offering up multiple first round picks to try and get him to the team. I don't think the Knicks should go out and get him. They've already got Quickly and Rose. They're too similar of players. The Lakers already got Schroeder. I don't think they should go out and get him as well. I think the Nuggets would actually be pretty cool. I think the Nuggets also may be missing that high scorer off the bench. Again, it looks like they will potentially be converting Will Barton to maybe be that dude, but Barton's regressed a little bit. He's only averaging 12 points per game right now. I think they would be a pretty cool, team as well to maybe go get him. If I was OKC, considering they have 20 first round picks, you think they'd be offering up a couple of first round picks, 2 to 3 to try and get him to the team as well. There are a lot of teams in the league that should, of course, be trying to get Colin Sexton. For all we know, this guy's averaging 24 points per game on his, third season in the NBA. For all we know, if this guy starts next season, he could average 26 a game. If he comes off the bench, he could still average, the 20 points per game as well and win your sixth man of the year. He will be a very high demand player, and if I was the Cavs, of course I said I would not be trading for him. But if a team does look to overpay and is looking to maybe give up 3 future first round picks and maybe a player or something like that, which you could say, hey, Colin Sexton's not worth that. But then you're also delusional because this guy is 22 years of age and he's already averaging 24 points per game. If this guy matured and got his passing right and found the right role, this man will be a very, very good player in the NBA. There is still somewhat of all-star potential hidden in this guy. He just needs to find the passing, in him, and it would be all fine. But the Cavs should not trade Colin Sexton. I can't stress that enough. You got to bring back Colin Sexton because he is the heart and soul of this team. Look, I don't think he's the future in terms of he's going to be your future best player, because I think Garland will be the main dude for the Cavs long term. I think he has the ability to be as good of a scorer as Sexton, but a way better playmaker, a way better leader. But Sexton has that heart and soul of the team that is very, very hard to find in players, especially young players. You compare Colin Sexton to Kyrie Irving. Yes, Kyrie Irving was a lot better than Sexton ever was. But where's Kyrie Irving right now? He's not playing on the Cavs. Kyrie Irving gave up on the Cavs. He chose to request a trade. He chose to betray LeBron James. He chose to betray his friends and his loved ones to be the number one guy on a team. And it failed miserably. It backfired in Kyrie Irving's face. And then, of course, he ended up leaving Boston. And I don't think he betrayed Boston because I don't think he really owed them anything. But now he is having a pretty good career in Brooklyn. But he got a lot of backfire when he did originally join Boston. And it didn't go well. And that's what I'm saying. Where is Kyrie Irving right now? He is not on the team. But Colin Sexton is on the team, and he will give you everything that you will want. He will be the heart and soul. He'll try and be the best leader he can. He'll go out and score you the points that you want. He is the guy, and you cannot trade Colin Sexton. It would just be an absolutely stupid decision. But of course, I would very much like to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Do you guys think Colin Sexton's getting traded? Are these reports true? Of course, I would really like to know. Don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel. And don't forget to check out my IRL/vlogging channel and my podcast out if you haven't already. Links for them will all be in the description down below. But as I was saying, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.